Your avoidant ex just came back with all the right words, and you're about to make a mistake that most people make in this exact situation. What I'm about to show you will either save you from repeating a painful cycle or help you recognize genuine change when it actually happens. So they're back. After weeks or months of radio silence, your avoidant ex has suddenly reappeared in your life with what seems like perfect timing and perfect words. Maybe they sent that vulnerable text about missing you. Maybe they showed up looking genuinely remorseful. Maybe they're saying everything you've been dying to hear. And here's what's happening in your brain right now. You're trying to convince yourself that this time is different, that they've finally realized what they lost, that all your waiting and hoping has finally paid off. But what if I told you that most people who get back together with an avoidant ex find themselves in the same patterns that broke them up in the first place, and that there are specific signs that can help you tell whether this time really is different? Today, I'm going to show you the crucial difference between an avoidant who's actually transformed versus one who's just gotten better at saying the right things, because missing this distinction will cost you more than just time. It'll cost you your peace of mind. Here's something that might surprise you. Genuine avoidant transformation is uncommon enough that it catches most people off guard when it actually happens. Most avoidant returns follow predictable patterns that have more to do with their circumstances than genuine change. But here's what's become increasingly common. Avoidant people have gotten much better at understanding relationship language. They've learned exactly what accountability sounds like, how to express vulnerability, and which changes to promise to make you believe they're different. Think about it. They've had months to reflect on what went wrong. They might have read articles about attachment styles, watched videos about relationships, or done research on personal growth. They know the vocabulary of growth and change, even if they haven't fully experienced the transformation. Signs they came back for convenience. Red flag 1. The grass wasn't greener. Most avoidants leave because they convince themselves there's something better out there. They think freedom equals happiness. But guess what happens after a few months of casual dating and surface-level connections? Reality hits. Those exciting new people don't know their coffee order or laugh at their weird jokes like you did. This isn't love bringing them back, it's convenience. You're familiar. You're safe. You already know their flaws and accepted them once, so why not try again? Red flag 2. They're going through a rough patch. Here's something that happens constantly. An avoidant loses their job, their parent gets sick, or they're just feeling lonely during the holidays. Suddenly you get that, "I've been thinking about you" text. Perfect timing, right? Wrong. You're not their first choice. You're their comfort blanket. When life gets hard, avoidants often reach back to what felt secure before, even if they ran from that security originally. It's not about wanting you back. It's about needing emotional support without having to be vulnerable with someone new. Red flag 3. Their ego needs a boost. This one's tough to hear, but avoidants often return when their self-esteem takes a hit. Maybe someone rejected them, or they're feeling insecure about aging or career stuff. Coming back to someone who loved them deeply? Instant ego repair. They know exactly which buttons to push to make you light up. They remember what made you fall for them before. It's like having a guaranteed confidence boost on speed dial. Red flag 4. Fear of true commitment elsewhere. Sometimes an avoidant will be dating someone new who actually wants something real, and that terrifies them. So they sabotage it by reaching out to you, their safe ex, who they know they can keep at arm's length. You think they chose you over someone else, but really, they chose emotional unavailability over growth. You're not the winner here. You're the path of least resistance. Signs they came back for real love. Green flag 1. They're terrified but showing up anyway. Here's what real transformation looks like. They're absolutely terrified of vulnerability, but they're doing it anyway. You can see the fear in their eyes when they talk about feelings. Their voice might shake when they're being accountable. They might pause for long moments because they're fighting every instinct to run. This isn't smooth or polished. It's raw and uncomfortable and real. Someone who's genuinely changing is essentially rewiring their entire nervous system, and that process is visible. If their vulnerability feels too easy, too comfortable, too rehearsed, it probably is. Green flag 2. Their entire life shows evidence of change. This is the ultimate test. Has their transformation affected every area of their life, or just their relationship with you? Someone who's genuinely changed will have evidence everywhere. They've probably improved their relationship with their family. They might have changed jobs or living situations. They've likely developed new friendships or deepened existing ones. They've started new hobbies, changed their routines, or made other significant life adjustments. Why? Because avoidance isn't just a relationship problem, it's a life problem. When someone truly heals their attachment patterns, it impacts how they show up everywhere. If they claim to have changed but their life looks exactly the same, except for wanting you back, they haven't changed at all. Green flag 3. They're patient with the process. Someone who's genuinely changed understands that they need to earn their way back into your life. They don't expect you to trust them immediately or pick up where you left off. They're willing to take things slow, rebuild trust gradually, and prove through consistent actions that they're different. They understand that words are cheap and that you have every right to be cautious. Most importantly, they don't pressure you or make you feel guilty for having boundaries. They respect your process just as much as they're asking you to respect theirs. Green flag 4. They have a clear vision for the future. When someone comes back for real love, they're not just running from loneliness or trying to recapture the past. They have a clear vision of the kind of relationship they want to build and the kind of partner they want to be. They can talk specifically about what they've learned, what they would do differently, and how they see your relationship evolving. They're not just focused on getting you back, they're focused on creating something better than what you had before. The crucial questions to ask before you decide whether to give them another chance, here are the essential questions you need honest answers to. What specifically have you learned about yourself since we ended? Listen for detailed, thoughtful responses, not generic statements. What would you do differently if we tried again? Look for concrete behavioral changes, not just promises to try harder. What personal growth work have you done during our time apart? This should include specific actions, not just internal reflection. How do you plan to handle conflicts? They should have a clear strategy, not just good intentions. What does a healthy relationship look like to you now? Their answers should show growth in their understanding of partnership and intimacy. The common trap people fall into, here's the pattern that catches most people. When your avoidant ex comes back during a rough patch or after their dating adventures didn't work out, you interpret their return as them choosing you. You think, finally, they realized what they lost, or they've learned that nobody else compares to me. But what's really happening is they're seeking comfort and familiarity during a vulnerable time. The problem is, once their crisis passes, once they feel emotionally stable again, or once they rebuild their confidence, the same reasons that made them leave in the first place start creeping back in. You become emotionally reinvested in the relationship during their moment of need, thinking this vulnerability means they've changed. But vulnerability born from desperation isn't the same as vulnerability born from growth. When their circumstances improve, you often find yourself right back where you started, except now you're more invested and it hurts even more. When an avoidant person comes back for real love, their approach is completely different. They lead with accountability, not charm. They're focused on rebuilding trust, not just chemistry. They discuss the future with specificity, not vague promises. They respect your boundaries instead of pushing against them. They show patience with the process instead of expecting immediate forgiveness. They demonstrate change through actions, not just words. Most importantly, they understand that getting you back isn't the goal. Building a healthy relationship is. Whether their return seems genuine or not, you need to protect yourself throughout this process. Set clear boundaries about what you need to see before considering reconciliation. Take it slow, regardless of how convinced you are that they've changed. Watch their actions over time, not just their initial words and gestures. Trust your gut. If something feels off, don't ignore that instinct. Don't abandon your own growth to focus on their transformation. Remember, you don't owe anyone a second chance. Even if they have genuinely changed, you're not obligated to give them another opportunity to be in your life. Your avoidant ex coming back could be the beginning of the relationship you've always wanted, or it could be the setup for the most devastating heartbreak of your life. The difference comes down to your ability to see past their words and evaluate their actual transformation. Real change is rare, uncomfortable, and takes time. It shows up in every area of their life, not just in what they say to you. It's backed by evidence, not just promises. Most importantly, remember this. Even if they have genuinely changed, you don't owe them anything. You're not obligated to be their testing ground for their new emotional skills. You deserve someone who was ready for real love when they met you, not someone you had to lose in order for them to figure out what they wanted. Whether this is genuine transformation or sophisticated manipulation, protect your heart, trust your instincts, and never